Welcome back to Outside Views. Today we tackle a hot question that's been simmering since Britain decided to wave goodbye to the European Union. Is post-Brexit UK successfully cherry-picking, or are they dropping the cherries altogether? So first, let's set the stage for everyone. Remember the Brexit campaign's rallying cry? Take back control? Sounds great, doesn't it? Well, it promised a UK untethered from EU regulations, free to forge sparkling new trade deals and partnerships around the globe. And the vision was one of limitless potential, an ambitious move towards greater sovereignty and global influence. Initially, optimism reigned supreme. Britain believed it could draft a bespoke future, cherry-picking deals and alliances that served its interest best. But optimism quickly met reality. Post-Brexit Britain stumbled out of the gate, grappling with disrupted supply chains, border chaos, and a need to rapidly rebuild trade relationships. The sunny uplands promised by Brexit campaigners, they started to look cloudier than expected. In theory, Britain could choose its partnerships carefully, but in practice, the world was far less accommodating. And this brings us to Britain's approach, dubbed by critics as cherry-picking. Cherry-picking in the Brexit context refers to the UK's selective approach towards international engagements and trade deals. And instead of broad, comprehensive cooperation, Britain opted to negotiate specific individual agreements tailored to its immediate interests. But this selective strategy wasn't without pitfalls. By prioritizing deals with certain nations, notably the USA, Australia, and countries in Asia, the UK sidelined other important relationships, particularly with Europe, and that still is its largest trading partner. At first glance, cherry-picking seems savvy. Britain gets exactly what it wants, right? But the long-term consequences have proved trickier. Major trading blocs like the EU have shown less flexibility than expected or wanted, limiting the UK's ability to dictate favorable terms. And the US, Britain's dream post-Brexit partner, has been hesitant, placing America first ahead of Britain's aspirations. And Britain's selective engagement has unintentionally weakened its negotiating hand, revealing the significant gaps in its global strategy. And here's where the costs of cherry-picking become clear. By focusing too narrowly, the UK has missed out on opportunities to lead globally on critical issues like climate change, human rights, and broad international trade frameworks. Once influential within the EU, Britain now sits outside the rooms where crucial decisions are made. And as many have pointed out, influence lost is harder to regain. And consider this, a more collaborative approach could have secured Britain's position within powerful coalitions, amplifying its voice and ensuring stable, long-term partnerships. Instead, cherry-picking, at least attempts, has risked alienating key allies. France and Germany, central to European politics, now treat Britain more as a competitor than as a partner, except in a few cases. And even the Commonwealth countries, initially seen as eager allies, have prioritized their own regional trade agreements over exclusive deals with Britain. But now let's gaze a bit forward. Despite the challenges, the UK still holds considerable global clout, thanks to its historical relationships, its strong cultural influence, and strategic capabilities. But restoring Britain's global influence post-Brexit requires strategic shifts. To navigate the complexities of a post-Brexit world, the UK must move beyond cherry-picking, embracing a more comprehensive and a more collaborative strategy. Clarity in priorities is crucial. Britain needs to articulate clearly where it stands on key global issues and what partnerships it aims to cultivate. A scattergun approach driven by short-term interests won't cut it. The UK must develop long-term strategic thinking, aligning its goals with those of global partners and global institutions. And some don't want to hear that, but pragmatism is the key. Rather than focusing solely on narrowly tailored trade deals, Britain should rebuild relationships through shared interests and mutual benefits. Cooperation on climate initiatives, global security, and humanitarian aid are all areas where Britain can excel and regain international stature. Ultimately, the UK's cherry-picking strategy has shown clear limitations. While it offered a short-term vision of independence and of tailored engagement, the broader reality of global politics demands collaboration and flexibility. The need now is for Britain to adopt a holistic approach, ensuring it can both negotiate favorable terms and maintain strategic partnerships that benefit it in the long term. Forging lasting international partnerships remains essential. If Britain wishes to reassert its global influence, cherry-picking must give way to a strategic, inclusive global policy. The potential for Britain to positively shape international agendas remains high, but only through meaningful cooperation and a clear vision. The Brexit referendum promised Britain control. Now, to truly benefit from that control, the UK must embrace the global interconnectedness it initially sought to escape. Only then can it truly thrive in the post-Brexit world. So thanks for joining us today, and don't forget to like, subscribe and comment with your thoughts below. See you next time on Outside Views. The next video is right here in the end screen.